Hey, it's Nick, and I'm back with another Excel spreadsheet. But instead of a football related or sports related spreadsheet, I thought I'd try to use my Excel knowledge to make something for the greater good. So, this is my COVID-19 vaccine deployment tracking document. Hopefully, this will be useful to someone. If not, you can always learn something from Excel by examining a template. But I just imagine this could be used by maybe if you're the boss of a company and you've got employees working from home and you want to know when it's safe to bring them all back into the office, or maybe you work at a nursing home or something and you want to track the vaccine for your residents, or if you're at a school and you want to track your teachers. I don't know, and I don't know the the legality of all that, but let's just roll with it because I think it'd be a good thing to track. But either way, like I said, you can learn something from examining templates. So I'll go over this and maybe you'll learn a few things. So there's kind of two parts to this template. The first question is, how do you know if you have a group of people of employees, of residents, of teachers? How do you know like what the priority is to give them the vaccine? And then the second thing is tracking who got the vaccine. All right, so like I said, first thing is how do you determine the order of who gets the vaccine? So you open up this template, you start putting in your employees or residents or whoever is the patient's names. So I already listed some here you can see. Then you enter their date of birth, and like at most of my spreadsheets, I use the same key. So user input cells are yellow, drop down lists are orange, formulas are blue. So yellow, these are type in. This is just all made up information, of course. So then the next orange shells, these are drop down lists. So the way I do the ranking is I make up a score, and then the rank is just whoever has the highest score then ends up getting the first rank. Score gets the highest rank. So how is the score determined? So first part is the age. So I use the formulas here so that each person enters their date of birth. So then the formula calculates their age. So that's the first part. So if you're 90, you get 90 points. The second part, so we have currently 2 vaccines are available. Each one requires 2 doses, but then the days between the shots is different. One's 28 days and the other one's 21 days. And they also have different limits about who can get the vaccine, their age limit. So that information is here. So that's the next thing is this person eligible? So I have a formula here that says, and based off of what vaccine they got, are they eligible or not? So you can see this person is 13. Since they're getting the Pfizer one, says no, they're not eligible. But because it's 16, so because the age limit's 16, this guy who's 17, he is eligible for this one. If we change this to this one, now it becomes N. So you'll notice over here, this is conditional formatting. When this changes to N, so they're not eligible, and then blocks out these cells so that you can't enter the date to show like when they got their shot because they're not eligible to get a shot. So that's what this column is, and the next one is a tier, and then what tier they're in, and then a score multiplier. So based on some research and data I had from before, I broke each age group into a different tier. So this was based off some data from Ohio from earlier this year, but basically this is your chance of dying if you got COVID. So as you can see, if you're 60 or younger, your chance of you dying is basically less than 1%. Now, if you're 80 or above, it jumps up to 20%. So I put each of these age ranges into a tier. So you already get a lot of points if you're older, but then I'm adding on even more points to make age an even bigger factor here. So we're adding the age plus the age multiplier. Male or female. Now this one could be a little controversial. So you can give a different point value to someone if they're male or female. So from everything, the 5-second Google search I did showed some articles that said males have a 3% more chance of dying from COVID than females. And I guess that's because females are just better at fighting infections than males are. Plus, I guess males are stupid. They don't follow directions. They don't wear their masks, so they're going to be more likely to get the virus or whatever. But so based off of males having a 3% more chance of dying, I give the males a 3-point bonus. So 3 points compared to the age, and the age multipliers isn't a lot, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. But again, so you can change these however you want to. The link to download the template will be in the description below. So if you want, you can make it even, or you can let all the females go first and change that to 1,000. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. So the next thing I have is a priority. So I could have just went by age and been done with it, but I wanted to make it a little more, include more variables. So for example, if you have a first responder or someone whose immune system has been compromised, or maybe if there's someone who's pregnant, you can kind of give them a boost in the rankings. So I just gave them 11 points if you're a priority patient, just because I thought that would be kind of enough to at least bump you up one ranking. So here is, that's where over here, the drop down list, you choose, is this person at priority, yes or no? And so here you can see when it's yes, you get 11 points. When it's not, you get 0. So then these formulas add up the scores, and then we have a ranking formula to rank the scores with no ties. So if you go over to the priority sheet, these are just using VLOOKUP formulas to look up over here. And so here's our priority order of who should get the vaccine first. So let's pretend like no one has gotten their shot yet. So you can see conditional formatting again. When someone is completely vaccinated, it will turn the whole row green. So if I go back over here, so no one's gotten vaccinated yet, here's the priority order. I used a linked picture, so you can see here's the order again. If I change these around, like say if I change this to 0, there's an order flip right there. So basically, if 2 people have the exact same age, one's male, one's female, and you only have 1 dose of the vaccine, who are you going to give it to? Well, in my model, when you give 3 points to the male, that would bump up. That would make the male go before the female in that case. But then you can see here, if I change some of these points around, does it change the rank in some? Yep. So you can play around with different scores. And again, here's the rank, the points for the tiers. So you can see if you're 80 up, you get an extra 18 points. If you're in the first 5 tiers, you basically get no extra bonus points. So that's the ranking system to show you how it prioritizes who and the people listed in your document should get the vaccine first in what order. Okay, so, and again, like you could hide all these if you wanted to, make it more clean. So again, yellow is user input, orange is drop-down boxes. So next is keeping track of who actually has gotten the vaccine. So here's where you can enter, there's scheduled date when you're supposed to get the shot. And yeah, I guess you could use the ranking here. Say like, oh, this person's first, so they should go on the first day. And then next person's second, maybe they go on the next day, whatever. Well, this is just scheduled, so this column actually doesn't point to anything, so it doesn't really do much. So then you have to put in the actual date. So did this person actually get their shot the day they were supposed to? Say, yep. So you can see here this formula, when these are blank, this says they still need their first dose. So remember, each vaccine, the time between the first shot and the second shot is different. So that's what this formula does. So it bases, like, once you get the shot, then it says, okay, what vaccine did you have? And then it says, when it looks over here, okay, 28 days or 21 days. So then it adds those up. So then it tells you, here's the earliest date you can get your second shot. So then once you actually get that shot, if you got it on the same day, put the date in. And then you can see vaccinated changes to yes and turns to green. And you can see here we actually skipped we didn't go with our order. Maybe this person didn't show up on the day of their appointment or whatever. And so if we go back to the info tab, you can see some stats. So here right now there's 13 people listed in this document. 9 of them are eligible for the vaccine, so there's 4 people that are not old enough, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 black lines, 4 ends. So then here's each tier, all those 13 employees or presidents or teachers, whoever fall under. So these 4 are too young, and then so we have 1 person who is in 80 and up, the most severe range. So that person was one of the first vaccinated. So it tells you for each tier how many people have been vaccinated. So 100% of this tier, 100% of this tier. And just some other stats like tracking how many have gotten this vaccine versus how many people got this vaccine or scheduled to get that one. So you can see here, first dose, out of the 9 that are eligible, 3 of them, or 33%, got their first dose. So this 66% still need to get the first dose. And then out of the 9 that are eligible, 2 people have been vaccinated, or 22%. So then you can quickly see on here, like, okay, we're only at 22%. We need to hopefully get that up. And I guess that's pretty much does it. Can I enter these? Everything just goes back to blank. Plain. If you want here, add somebody else just to see how the rankings go. Let's make up a date. Age 32, eligible, yep, they're in tier 3, so it doesn't really add any points. No points there, no points there. So they're 8th. And put in the date of the first shot, and then now. So if we go back to our graphs, they should have updated. So we're now 40% got the first dose because we have 4 out of 10. However, still only 2 people are completely vaccinated, so 2 out of 10, so that dropped that down to 20%. So that's pretty much the template. I'd love to know if anyone actually finds this useful or can use it, or if you have any other tips or suggestions, please use the comments below and let me know. Subscribe for more Excel videos coming up. And yeah, I will put the link to this template in the description below. Thanks for watching.